Welcome to Heat 12A of the 2018 Dragonflight 95 Global Championship. I'm Chuck LeMahieu. We're joining the action here. The countdown clock's under 2 minutes as the boats are getting ready for the start. Great aerial shot as we can see them queuing up and getting ready to hit the line. We are running a standard windward-leeward for this race, as we have been the entire regatta. Winds are out of the northeast about 10 to 12 knots. We have 18 boats on the line for race 12A. We've had some great wind this morning. Looks to be picking up a little bit. All of the boats are in B rig except for Jonas Sampson, who's been in A rig since he promoted up and is choosing to stay in A. He, along with Tony Gonzalez, promoted up from the B heat and are looking to see how high they can place. They both came from the C fleet, so it'll be interesting to follow along and see if 51 and Sweden 60 can how high they can get a score. With about 30 seconds left to the gun, boats are now getting ready to approach the line, trying to find their place. You see this a lot in sailboat racing. They're trying to station keep on the line, which can be challenging in the waves that we have here at Bass Pro. But the A-Fleet skippers, all our skippers have a lot of skill in station keeping, and we're under about 10 seconds left before the gun. You can see Tony Gonzalez there coming in behind. Looks like you got Peter Allen at the top. Wow, just a fantastic start. Look at how evenly spread out along the line they are. It means your committee did an excellent job of setting the line when they're able to get spread out like that. Let's take another look at this. You got 15 boats spread out across the line evenly. Just an awesome job by the committee of setting the line, and just a tribute to our skippers who are sailing in this championship. Off to almost a perfect start and challenging conditions. So we pick up racing. Looks like you got Peter Allen and Mark Gullison headed off to the right. Jonas Sampson is the first attack off to port on the left in his A-rig. Boats are headed upwind. Some of our very unique and exciting drone footage from Sparky Sorensen at Sparky's Video, just giving us a incredible overview of what the tactics and racing are in radio sailing. Exciting one design tactical racing here as the fleet heads up for the first beat for the windward mark. You can see the yellow boat there in the center of your screen is Mark Gullison, USA 55. Looks like he's got a nice angle. Off to the right, you can see John Tishingham there in the white boat, probably has the lead, coming in on port. You got a couple starboard boats in. These boats are so evenly matched when they're approaching the mark. It's a real knife fight to make it around and to finish ahead of your competitors. Looks like John Tishingham's made his tack to the windward mark here. You can see Des Fairbank there tacking behind. John's around the windward mark, closely followed by Buzz Coleman and GBR 12, Mark Gullison and USA 55 heading to the offset. Derek Priestley and GBR 67. And about 6 boats here trying to get to the offset. A little incident there between 51 and 1. As everybody else quickly rounds, you can see Jonas Sampson there in A-rig, Steve Washburn, USA 75, Gary Bowl and USA 71. Very even sailing as they head off downwind for the first downwind leg to the leeward gate. Exciting, close tactical racing with the DF95 here today. As our aerial shot moves down the course along with the boats. Doesn't look like one side or the other is advantaged much as evenly as they're spread out. Looks like the three Brits, John Tishingham, Buzz Coleman, and Derek Priestley headed off to the left. Gullison heads off to the right, along with Peter Allen, Jonas Sampson. Looks like Gary Bowles heading off to the left. Pretty even split between the fleets. We'll find out who's going to get the advantage. Usually in sailing, you get headed or lifted. One side of the course is favored over the other side. We'll see if the boats that went off to the right, how they do in comparison to the boats that went off to the left. The boat in the middle there of your screen is Mark Gullison. Looks like he got a really nice angle going out to the right, and maybe had a better air. He came around in fourth. Looks like the guys that went over towards the dock, though, have good wind. Still got John Tishingham leading, followed by Buzz Coleman and Derek Priestley. Now Mark Gullison's taking it, so it probably looks like the guys that went over to the dock had a little better angle. Now Mark Gullison in the yellow boat, you can see he's taking it way out towards the dock and is now tacked. So it might be a little more favored on the dock side right now. You can see Jonas Sampson taking it way over, banging the corner a little bit. Let's see if it pays off for him. Not much difference between the boats on the left of your screen. John Tishingham, Buzz Coleman, and Derek Priestley. Looks like you can tell from the angle of Mark Gullison's boat there, he might be getting what we call a lift and getting a little better angle to the mark. Sometimes even little changes like that can make a huge difference. Nice angle between Mark Gullison has to duck John Tishingham, but it looks like he did make up some ground over Buzz and Derek. Now Mark's taking the chance to see if he can make it all the way to the windward mark without tacking. Running hip on hip there with Derek Priestley or Buzz Coleman in the 12 boat. Jonas Sampson in 60 is making up some great ground in the A-rig. Looks like Gullison managed to hang on to the ley line and is going to make it around without tacking, giving him the lead. Heading to the offset and heading downwind for the second mark. And it looks like Buzz Coleman and Derek Priestley just making some fantastic moves there. As Tishingham actually ends up fourth, even though he was first around the windward mark, followed by Jonas Sampson, Tony Gonzalez, Jerry Brower, Peter Baldwin, and Steve Landau. You can see Eric Rosenbaum there in the Texas-colored boat trying to make it around the windward mark, along with Steve Washburn, Danny Thomas, Gary Bowl, Peter Allen. There's Chris Dance in Australia 719. Looks like he hit the mark and is going to do a penalty turn. But you can look downwind and see there's not much separation between the leaders as they head off for the final leeward gate to head upwind for the finish. Looks like Mark held on to his lead downwind, followed by Buzz and Derek snapping at his heels. Tishingham and Sampson take the outside. Looks like the inside was favored as we got a quick shot of our start-finish line so you can see what that looks like. Awesome racing here today. Great tactics and excellent sailing by our skippers. Looks to be a close finish, and it looks like Mark Gullison's holding on to his lead there in the middle of your screen. The boats on the outside there still have to make a tack, but Gullison's coming in on port and crosses the line in first. Great race by Derek Priestley to make up some ground and get ahead of John Tishingham. Buzz Coleman finishing in third. And Jonas Sampson holding on in A-rig, finishing fourth ahead of John Tishingham. And also followed by Tony Gonzalez. So a move in race 12 from C to A by by Jonas Sampson and Tony Gonzalez. Great racing by them. Other boats finishing here is Peter Baldwin, 172. Jerry Brower in 142. Steve Landau in 112. You can see Eric Rosenbaum, USA 101 there in the Texas boat, trying to finish out the race. Danny Thomas in 105, Gary Bull, 71. Steve Washburn in USA 75. Mark Dix in GBR 33 tacking over to port, trying to make it, tacking to starboard, but Peter Allen comes in ahead of him. Mark Dix from Great Britain, designer of the Dragon Force 65. One of the guys that started the revolution for these boats. There's Chris Dance in Australia 719 and Des Fairbank in RSA 01 from South Africa.